All right. Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, I'm just going to do a short video here about the four H's, which is my little way of summarizing how to check your posture, whether you're a martial artist, whether you're doing Tai Chi or yoga, or just a person who wants better balance, fewer falls in their life, just want to have a decent postural orientation to gravity. Here's my theory. Posture ideas are more and more relevant the slower you are moving. When you are still, posture ideas are very, very relevant. When you're moving fast, playing a basketball game or walking down the street or doing stuff, you could maybe incorporate one little postured note, but if you've got a bunch of posture notes while you're in motion, it's going to feel like a straitjacket. It's just not relevant. So one of my little sayings is, in motion, move. In stillness, check your posture. Okay? So, the first part about the posture is what I call the horse. There's four H's, right? The first H is the horse. So that means you feel like you're riding a horse. I'm just going to do a medium-sized stance here. So my feet are a little wider than my shoulders. The insides of my feet are parallel. If you need to turn out a little bit, that's okay, but I like to do it parallel. Sink in the knees a little bit. Round the inner thighs. So don't let the inner thighs collapse. Round them a little bit like you're sitting on a horse. That means that your outer thighs have to work a little bit. There's a little rotation in here. There's a bunch of little things going on, but head towards bow-legged, but don't go to bow-legged. Don't go to where your toes lift, big toes lift off the ground. Keep the feet on the ground. Feet glued, knees bent, inner thighs rounded. Then you want to, the next H is the hips. So sit into your hips. It's the opposite of hips forward, knees back. It's hips back, knees forward. But the knees don't go past your toes. Not in a standing position. There's times when the knees go past the toes. I'm not dogmatic about that. But in a standing position, don't do this. It sucks. So be here. So hips is crease in the front, slight drop in the back. And that puts your base underneath your core and your waist. So then the next H is your heart. And it's really simple. Just lift it a little bit. Don't think of lifting your chest, certainly not forward. The chest is kind of restrained, really. It's not going forward. It's just the heart, the anatomical heart, which sits more or less dead center in your body. Think of just lifting it. It's your back muscles that do that, but the way they do that can be very different. There's all kinds of different lifts that you could do. So just think of the heart floating upward a little bit, right? So you've got horse, hips, heart, and the last thing is your head. Picture a ponytail on the back of your skull, and it's hanging from a rafter up above, like the old classics say. But think of the back of your head lifting up, right? There. Now these are not hard and fast guidelines. Again, I'm saying in motion, you want to just move with whatever intent you have. This is not about controlling your posture while you're moving. This is about when you stop moving, right? So when you stop, meaning like after you finish a Tai Chi position, let's say, here, check the horse, check the hips, check the heart, check the head. If your style won't let you slow down and do that, if you have to keep the same speed all the time, then good luck. But if you can, if you're allowed to slow down when you get to here, horse, hips, heart, head, and then you're allowed to slow down when you take your step, horse, alignment, hips, heart, head, and then allows you to slow down when you finish to check again. It trains your body to check those things as you move, as you slow down. And your body will figure out how to keep you near those things while you move. Because in motion, you can't keep those things. You have to distort those things for motion. But you don't want the distortion to be wild. You want it to distort around a healthy posture. And you tell yourself what the healthy default is that you're going to arrive in by continually checking and making those corrections when you arrive, so your body will get used to, oh, he's going to check when I arrive, or she or them or whatever are going to check when I arrive. So pretty soon when you arrive, your body starts to check for you. And then your posture will be there. So you can do this very close, with your feet very close apart. Just imagine a really skinny horse here. And then a little tiny bit of hip crease and a little hip tuck and a little heart lift and a little head lift. Shrug your shoulders back if you want to go a little bit further. Or it can be a little bit wider, or it can be a front stance, or it can be a back stance, it can be a wide stance, but either way, horse, hips, heart, head. Now that's what I would call the bone level of posture, because you're putting your bones in place. If you want to go a little bit further, you can go to the muscle level of good posture, which I call muscle level, is just to relax the muscles on the bones. Trauma of any kind in your life, and who the hell doesn't have some, makes your muscles kind of subtly or not so subtly grab the bones. It's an attempt to steady and control your feelings and control the pain or difficulty you're going through. Problem is, it's great at the time, but it can become a habit long after it's outlived its necessity. So the muscle level is like relaxing the muscles around the bones. So every joint feels like a big fat dude in a hammock, just an inch off the ground. It's a heavy feeling, right? So the posture level, the bone level, can feel kind of light, which is nice when you've been carrying the burden of your weight in ways that are not proper. So when you do this, it feels like, oh, this is kind of light. Then within that, you want to feel heavy so that you can just learn to relax the muscles on the bones, right? So in a way, this is too yang, too rigid, and this is too yin, too soft, too receptive. So to float the difference in between is to start to get into the joints. So the next step would be to suspend your joints. And that means that all the joints are in a little bit of motion, just a little bit. You're maintaining the horse, you're maintaining the hips, you're maintaining the heart and the head. It's just that there's a little floating motion in the joints. I think of being suspended on strings, like I'm a puppet on strings, but I'm a lead puppet, so I'm really heavy, but I'm buoyant. So I'm in between the rigidity of the bone level posture and the softness of the heavy relaxation. I'm in the middle there. So when I have that going on, when the joints are suspended, even if I'm not in apparent motion, I'm in a very small amount of motion. And if I have to move, one of those little motions is just going to increase into a bigger motion. I'm not going to go from cold to move. I'm going to go from slightly moving to more motion, right? So those are like the whipped cream and cherry on the sundae. The basic sundae, though, is horse, hips, heart, head. Shrug the shoulders back, and now you're in decent alignment. I suggest doing this when you are waiting for toast to toast, or soup to heat up, or water to boil, or in line at the bank, or any time that you're just stopped in life, and Lord knows there's enough stops in life. When you're stopped, even if you're stopped at a traffic light, feel the space between your thighs. Don't let your thighs cave in when you're sitting in your car. And then feel your sit bones on the seat. You don't have to worry about the hip crease, because that'll be there. But the lift of the heart and the lift of the head. Relax your arms on the wheel. Just wait for the next light to change or whatever. So there's many ways you can put this into your life. When I'm just walking around or hiking or walking, there is one posture, a part of one of those H's that feels better to me than the others, that I can just do anytime without feeling like I'm putting a straitjacket on, and that's the lift the heart part. So if I'm out there walking and I just think, oh yeah, lift my heart, right? So I'm not trying to maintain a moving horse here. I'm not trying to figure out exactly what my hips are doing while I'm walking or where my head is. I just lift the heart, and that takes care of a lot, because that little lift there helps connect the upper and lower body and engages your core a little bit, engages your back a little bit, and it just, I don't know, it just feels really good to do, and it doesn't hamper my walking. So that's one that I recommend. So that's it. Horse, hips, heart, head. 4 H's. Horse, hips, heart, head. Then you can relax it if you want, float the joints if you want, be ready for motion if you want. Those are icing on the whipped cream and the sundae, whipped cream and the cherry. But the main thing is the 4 H's. So I know I've said this before in various videos, and I've talked about it or referred to it and stuff. I just wanted to make one that was just about this, because sometimes I teach a balance and fall prevention class with my wife. Sometimes someone wants to know just simple posture tip, and I just want to go, I wish I had a video with just that and nothing else. So now I have it. So this is it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you find this stuff helpful, do let me know. And like and subscribe and all that stuff. And if you feel like you want to give me a little tip for my trouble, I've got a tip link down below this video as I do under all my videos. But the main thing I'm doing this for is just to be of use. So if it's useful, let me know. That's in some ways better than Chip. All right, thanks everybody. Take care. What am I doing this for? I should be doing this.